Hey there! So today we have another review. Got to do it again. No disrespect to this beer. Where did I even get that from? No disrespect. I mean, it's obviously like Italian, blah blah blah. I don't know what. Anyway, ignore that. This beer can't stay any older. This beer is so freaking good. We are at right about 6 weeks old. 6 weeks old. I'm done with it. I might age in this guy. This is my last can. My favorite Pilsner that I've had in quite some time. And actually, if anything, we're doing the Willebeke versus the Teiko that I usually review this beer on. So, last can. Let's do it again. Beer comes in a really beautiful light gold color. Decent amount of haze on that, right? Like for a Pilsner, but it is a Keller beer. So, unfiltered. Keller is like a cellar. So, like cellared, unfiltered, not doing all that process. Collaborative Russian River, STiVO Pils. You guys know. Cheers. Pivo STiVO. Yeah, it's still the same. It's just grassy, lavender, super, super floral, super potpourri, super hoppy on the nose. But it's not hoppy in the sense of like, oh, it smells like an IPA. It's those beautiful, noble-ish hops. Noble hops never smell like this. Like Tecknanger, Satz, and Spalt, and all those traditional hops that just don't smell like this. This is French Aramis and German Saphir. So it's nice to have that combination of that kind of like it's a lager-ish kind of hop, but it is still oomphed a bit. But it's also not American, right? It doesn't smell like Citra or Cascade, right? Like, so it just got this extra bump of like a little bit more Myrcian character, bumped up with a little bit more floral character, and then beautiful crack grains, beautiful nose. Golly. Freaking. So this is one of the fun things about beer sometimes, right? You think you've been blown away early on, but then it, like, granted, there's the expectation of like having had experienced this beer, which does actually make the beer more enjoyable because now I'm like a little bit more familiar with it, but also realizing it's my last can. So like that's some bias you can get. So these are all the psychological things going. But one of the things that you are actually learning is that you're gaining a palate appreciation of the beer, right? Like the first time I had it, I was like, ooh, real good. I'm blown away. And the second time I was like, bro, I'm really blown away. This might be the best version of it, right? Like where I'm really enjoying it. And I'm also allowed to take bigger slugs at it because like I've had this beer before. So I'm not trying to like pick apart at it so much. I'm like taking, and you guys would see me take these tiny sips and people would actually complain in the comments about it, but. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Super floral, noticeably hoppy. And again, not IPA hoppy. I'm continuing on the nose. Beautiful lavender, potpourri, white flowers. Grainy character. The beer is noticeably bitter. After that first sip, and you notice that hop character, the floral hop notes, the bitterness comes in, and it rides, and it rides, and it rides, and it rides. This is a very bitter Pilsner, but it's also not jagged. I definitely had enough Pilsners where they just, the bitterness doesn't seem to be as cohesive and echoing and soft and lingering. They just come off more jagged. I don't know how to describe it. Like you hold a ball and you hold a shell, right? Like, right? Like hell, we're gonna run about like just oyster shell. Like an oyster shell is very rough, or you hold a very, very smooth piece of what are those? Like a stress ball, right? These are very different experiences of texture, and this texture is smooth. It feels like no matter how much I squeeze and how much bitterness I'm getting out of this beer, it doesn't seem to ever like push back on me, right? Like it just seems delicious. It's a weird freaking analogy, but as I drink more, it is way too floral. A lot of this is out of style guidelines. it is noticeably overly hopped and way too floral watery. I can sort of appreciate it, but I think for a lot of people, even like beer geeks and experts, would hate this beer because it's just like, what the frick is this? Like, it feels like, it honestly tastes like drinking perfume right now. But I'm sort of in love with that. Beautiful malt structure, grainy, light, a little bit of cracked grains, a little bit of sweetness, a toothsome sweetness. Almost has this like kind of like yeah, like almost like a cornmeal thing. The complexity of malt is quite noticeable. Cornmeal, rice, polenta. Also, this kind of like a Rice Krispie treat or oatmeal cracker thingy. The complexity of malts is really important, and I find that it helps support the beer in that like rich hoppiness the beer has. So, again, I've had a hard time going forward to find a more enjoyable Pilsner. Again, I just love how exaggerated the beer is. Again, not the style. A lot of people are going to hate it. But I find this to be just in my wheelhouse. I honestly think, yeah, it could be a little less floral. It's honestly a little bit excessive, but that is absolutely fantastic. 100 minus out of 100. Love it, love it, love it. That's got to be my favorite lager of the year. We will see if anything can replace that. I can't think of a lager that I've had in like many years that can. Oof. I mean, having going to Beer Shot Lager House on premise is going to be a different experience. Having like slow pour pills, going to Cohesion on premise, having a side pour with a proper glass is going to be a little bit different. But just having it out of a can and I'm pouring it without crazy draft service, without a slow pour, side pull, lucre, blah 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 blah. Look at that head, Jesus Christ, unbelievable. Thank you so much, Firestone Walker. This was a gem. I need to send them an email, honestly. Like, this is one of the best beers I'm going to have all year. Cheers later.